دینا یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا جب تک ہے دل بغل میں ہر دم ہو یاد تیری جب تک ہے دل بغل میں ہر دم ہو یاد تیری جب تک زباں ہے منہ میں جاری ہے نام تیرا جب تک ہے زباں ہے منہ میں جاری ہے نام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا محروم کیوں رہوں میں جی بھر کے کیوں نہ لوں میں محروم کیوں رہوں میں جی بھر کے کیوں نہ لوں میں دیتا ہے رزق سب کو ہے فیض عام تیرا دیتا ہے رزق سب کو ہے فیض عام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا ہے تو ہی دینے والا پستی سے دے بلندی ہے تو ہی دینے والا پستی سے دے بلندی اسفل مقام میرا اعلیٰ مقام تیرا اسفل مقام میرا اعلیٰ مقام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا بندے کو کام تیرا محروم رہ نہ جائے کل یہ غلام تیرا یا رب ہے بخش دینا السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. ہاں میرے دوستوں، بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم، نحمدہ ونصلی علی رسولہ الکریم، اما بعد. ایک حدیث میرے ذہن میں آ رہی تھی، من استمع الی آیت من کتاب اللہ تعالی کتبت لہ بہ حسنۃ مضاعفۃ ومن تلاها كانت له نورا یوم القیامہ. صدق رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم. جو آدمی قرآن شریف کی ایک آیت سنے تو اس کے لیے ڈبل ٹرپل ملٹیپلیکیشن کے ساتھ وہ نیکی اور ثواب لکھا جاتا ہے. और जो आदमी उसको तिलावत करे तो वो एक आयत की तिलावत उसके लिए क़यामत के दिन नूर का बाइस होगी. Whoever listens to one Qurani ayat, then hasana, which is multiplied many times, will be noted for him. And who recites it, it will be a source of noor for him on the day of Qiyamah. What do we understand from there? Listening and reciting are equally important. Both are important. Tilawat is also important and listening is also important. When Quran is recited, Allah listens to the Quran. Hadith Sharif says, Lallahu ashaddu adhanan لنبي يقرأ القرآن من صاحب القينة إلى قينته. Allah listens more attentively to a prophet reading the Quran than the owner of a slave girl listening to his slave girl's music and dance, music and song. अंदाजा लगाओ. नबी, लेकिन नबी कुरान हसन उस-सौत, but it includes everyone who reads Quran. And Hasan u's-sawt yataghanna bil Quran, a person who has a good voice and he reads Quran in tune, Allah listens very attentively to him. Now, this person owns that slave girl. He can tell him to sing anytime. And she's got a beautiful voice. She reads beautiful songs, sings beautiful songs. So he tells her, and she sings, and he loves her songs. Imagine how attentively he'll listen to her. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listens attentively to the tilawat when Allah's kalam is recited. Allah's Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to listen to Quran. He is passing by the masjid. People are praying tahajjud. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari is praying his nawafil and he's reading Quran, a little bit voice beautifully. Huzur stands behind him and keeps listening and enjoys his tilawat. Then he passes by, to whatever he was going, his home. In the next morning, he said, Abu Musa, last night you were reading Quran. I stood behind you listening to your tilawat. You got a beautiful voice. Your voice is like Dawud alayhi salam's voice. And you know what Abu Musa al-Ash'ari said? Ya Rasulullah, I didn't know you were behind me. Otherwise, I would have read with a more beautiful tune. और ज्यादा अच्छे लहजे में पढ़ता कि आपकी तवज्जो मुझे और हासिल होती. तो हुजूर used to listen to Quran Sharif of Sahaba. He said to Abu Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, read Quran Sharif to me. He said, Rasulullah, should I read to you? You are Sahib Quran. Quran came to you. You are the recipient of Quran. He said, Inni uhibbu an asma'ahu min ghayri. I would love to listen to Quran from someone else. So he says, I started Surah An-Nisa. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhan nasu ittaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahidah wa khalaqa minha zawjaha wa basta minhuma rijalan kaseeran wa nisaa. I kept on reading one ruku, two rukus, three rukus, four rukus. I finished the para. I started the fifth sipara and read one ruku, two rukus, three rukus. When I came to the end of the third ruku, فكيف إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد وجئنا بك على هؤلاء شهيدا يومئذ يود الذين كفروا وعصوا الرسول لو تسوى بهم الأرض ولا يكتمون الله حديثا. He said, bas, that's it. He said, I lifted my head and I saw his both eyes were flowing with tears. Because these two verses mention Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that you will be a witness against these people who've rejected you. You will testify against them. On that day, they will wish that they had obeyed the messenger. So, he liked listening to Quran Sharif. So, we should also have love for Quran Sharif and listen to Quran Sharif. This is why I say, when you're driving, then rather than listening to nasheeds instead of songs, listen to Quran Sharif. Right? Nasheeds won't have that much benefit as Quran will have. You get those USBs, whole Quran in one USB, just put it in. And every time you switch the car ignition on, Quran comes on, right? So Mahir Muayqiri, I prefer him over everyone else. The other day, people they were having votes. Mahir or Dosri. Dosri is बेकार. Mahir is best. Dosri up and down, चीज करता है, अच्छा ही नहीं लगता है दूसरी का पढ़ना. Mahir Muayqili इतना अच्छा ट्यून है उसका. You can't stop listening to him. जितना पढ़ेंगे उतना मजा आएगा. पहले शुरेम थे, शुरेम का बहुत अच्छा लगता था, लेकिन माहिर आया तो शुरेम को पीछे कर दिया. तो इसलिए listen to Quran Sharif. The more you listen, the more you love Quran Sharif. And who knows, if you know Hafiz and if you keep listening, then one day you might become Hafiz as well, inshallah. हाँ, ऐसा हुआ है. बहुत से लोगों ने कुरान सुनना शुरू किया, शौक पैदा हुआ, हाफिज भी बन गए, became Hafiz as well. तो इसलिए कुरान सुना करो. इस हदीस में भी कहा ना, आप सुनेंगे, सिर्फ तिलावत के ऊपर सवाब नहीं मिलता, सुनने पर भी सवाब मिलता है. नशीद सुनने पर सवाब नहीं मिलेगा, सिर्फ इश्क रसूल बढ़ेगा, लेकिन कुरान सुनने पर इश्क इलाही भी बढ़ेगा और साथ ही सवाब भी मिलेगा. इसमें एक हर्फ पढ़ने की लिखी जाएगी. Every ayat you hear, you will get sawab for that. Right? So make a habit of listening to Quran Sharif in your car, in your home, when you're free, when you're doing nothing. Have Quran Sharif in your car and keep listening to it. ये मेरे दोस्त बैठे हैं मुफ्ती हयात साहब, इनका एक दोस्त है अगी उस्मान, वो मेरा भी दोस्त है. उसने एक दफे मुझे मर्सिडीज गाड़ी दी थी. अरे मैंने बोल दिया सबके सामने, तोबा. वो मेरा फ्रेंड है. तो उसकी गाड़ी में वो सीडी था माहिर का, पता नहीं कौन सा सीडी था यार. तो मैं जब भी ऑन करता तो मैंने उसको फोन किया, तेरा सीडी रह गया है. हाँ मौलवी साहब, मैं वो सुनता रहता हूँ, जब भी मैं गाड़ी चलाता तो उसको सुनता. वो कोई नहीं, आप सीडी रहने दे, तो मैं वो पूरा कुरान सुन गया उसके साथ. वहां से मुझे अंदाजा हुआ कि कुरान सुनने में कितना फायदा है, कि जब भी ड्राइव करो, चाबी मारी, कुरान चालू हो गया, जब भी चाबी मारी, कुरान चालू हो गया. कुरान सुनो, कुरान सुनो, कुरान सुनो. इसी कुरान की मोहब्बत दिल में पैवस्त हो जाएगी और आपको बहुत मजा आएगा इंशाअल्लाह. तो इसलिए ये हदीस मैंने आपके सामने इसीलिए पढ़ी कि कुरान शरीफ सुनने की आदत डालो. अल्लाह भी कुरान सुनते हैं, बहुत ध्यान से सुनते हैं अल्लाह अपने कुरान को. अल्लाह के नबी कुरान सुनते हैं, अल्लाह के वली कुरान सुनते हैं. हमारे अकाबिर औलियाउल्लाह, बाद औलियाउल्लाह हमारे ऐसे भी थे जो हाफिज नहीं थे, तो वो दूसरों से कुरान सुनते थे. मसलन हजरत शेखुल हिंद मौलाना महमूद हसन देवबंदी रहमतुल्लाह अलैह was not hafiz. In Ramzan, after Taraweeh, he would get call Huffaz, and he would stand behind them and listen to their Quran whole night. Hafiz would keep changing, like we had 5 Hafiz today. So Hazrat's Hafiz would keep changing, but Hazrat would stay there. People would come and go. All night he would be listening to Quran in Nawafil. They have this love to listen to Quran Sharif. So we should also have that love, inshallah. And the more we listen, the more better for us. Sawab, reward. And tilawat, if you get into a habit of tilawat, a Muslim should read 1 sipara every day throughout the year. And Hafiz should read 3 siparas every day throughout the year. Hafiz should do 1 khatam every 10 days. If you do 3 siparas every day, then every 10 days you'll be doing 1 khatam. Right? So get into this system. Take some time out for Quran Sharif. Make your hifaz pakka. Right? These Hafiz who read so nicely, Maulana Ibrahim Sahab, or Maulana Safwan Sahab, Maulana Yusuf Sahab, Maulana Ahmad Sahab, they keep reading Quran throughout the year. That's why their Quran is pakka. Otherwise, if they don't read the Quran, then they will become Ramzani Hafiz. Right? Then in Ramzan, they would have to go over 1/4 sipara to stand on the musalla. They wouldn't read anything else, only that 1/4 sipara. Right? And they would forget the rest of the Quran. So you have to keep reading the Quran throughout the year in order to make it pakka and make it gel into your heart. And when Quran gels in the heart, फिर set हो गया. एक दफे set हो गया, फिर आप पढ़ते जाओ इंशाल्लाह, फिर कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। तो इसलिए get into the system of tilawat as well, daily regular tilawat, like our elders, हमारे बूढ़े regular tilawat करते थे। When we were young in India, grew up in India, our alarm clock was our nana's tilawat, सचमुच, because we used to sleep in the same room। तो छोटे से घर होते हैं, तो हमारे नाना पलंग पर सोते थे, तो हम नीचे जमीन पर सोते थे, कभी इसका पेड़ सो गए। तो सुबह में नाना उठते, he used to pray his tahajjud namaz, and then he would start reading Quran Sharif loudly, औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम, यासीन, और कुरान लगे इतना जोर जोर से पढ़ते थे कि वो जगा देते थे। फिर उठो, वुजू करो, फजर के लिए दौड़ो। तो ये कुरान शरीफ तिलावत, some time ago in India, not long ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, there was so nice mahal of tilawat that every morning after Fajr, if you walk around the village, then from every house, the voice of tilawat would be coming out. Everybody in their homes, gents sitting outside, ladies sitting inside, both reading Quran Sharif. After you do their tilawat, wazifa, then they will go about their daily business, making tea and breakfast and whatever they needed to do. But tilawat's mahul was throughout the whole village. Now even in India, that mahul is gone. Only Gine Chune people, you can count on fingers, right, who will be reading Quran after Fajr namaz. I used to go to the Dar, my Khala's house, and in front of my Khala's house was Maulana Abdullah Saab's house. He was teacher of Hifz in the Dar. And every morning when we come back from Fajr to my Khala's house, he would be sitting outside on his swing, Ichka, and he would be reading Quran loudly so we can hear in my Khala's house as well. Ye Qari Abdullah Sahab Quran padh rahe hain. It would feel so nice. The whole mahalla is munawwar with the noor of Quran Sharif. So you have to listen to Quran Sharif and you have to read Quran Sharif, because Allah loves Quran Sharif. So whoever loves Quran Sharif, Allah will love him as well. You want to become beloved of Allah, mahbub of Allah, muqarrab of Allah, then that's your trick. Read Quran Sharif, you will become Allah's muqarrab. This reminds me of our Hazrat Maulana Yusuf Mutala Sahib Nafarallahu who's one saying and quote. Hazrat used to say that we do these zikr azkar awrad. They build up a nisbat between us and Allah. Nisbat means connection, relationship. We build our relationship with Allah through zikr azkar. And we also build our relationship with Allah through tilawat of Quran Sharif. Both are necessary. However, the relationship we build through zikr azkar is a bit weak. It's not so strong and concrete. You could resemble it to something like a mud house. It protects you from the heat and the sun. But if some huge storm would come or heavy rain would come, it would affect it. But the nisbat and relationship which is built through Quran Sharif is like a strong fort made from proper blocks and bricks, that storms and winds and rains cannot destroy it unless something really bad happened and destroyed it. Similarly, we build our relationship with Allah with zikr azkar, but if we fall into sins and the storm of sins comes over it, then this house could be destroyed. But if that relationship was built with Quran Sharif, it would be like a strong fort. It would not be able to destroy. Many times, one who is attached to Quran sometimes fall into a bad life, but then he comes back and he comes on the right track. And then, he memorizes the Quran again and he starts praying namaz again. So Hazrat said, both are necessary. However, zikr's nisbat should have Quran's nisbat as well. You should combine both. You should do the zikr azkar as well, and you should read the Quran as well. Then your nisbat will be really strong and your relationship connection with Allah will be fortified. You will be stronger and strengthened. This is what is needed. Sometimes Hafiz also forget their Quran and then they memorize again, right? एक one of my friends will become Hafiz in Darul Bari, right? Then as soon as he became Hafiz, he went home. He was from Bradford. He applied for a job in BT, and BT said, "What qualifications have you got?" And he said, "I'm Hafiz of Quran." "What do you mean you Hafiz of Quran?" And he took a copy of Quran with him. He put it on the table. "I know this book by heart." "What? You know this book by heart? How many pages?" 800 pages. "You know the 800 pages by heart? You're a genius. What's your proof? Where did you learn it?" "This place, institute, Darul's number 01706. So they called the number. Mona Alisa picked it up. "But we have this chap here who's claiming that he's memorized this book of yours. Is that right? What's the name?" "This name." "Ah, yes, he graduated on so and so date." "And he's right, he graduated from here." "Okay, you got the job." And he gets into the job, right? His dad takes him to Pakistan. He gets married. He gets a nice wife. Visa is done. She comes. They have two, 3 kids. Now he's living with his parents because they have a big house. But he's so busy in his job that he forgot Quran Sharif. To the extent that he didn't even remember Yasin Sharif. So one day, his wife was changing the baby's nappies. And she said to him, "Look, I've been with you for so long. You have 2, 3 kids now. I never see you picking the Quran up. Why don't you read Quran? You are Hafiz. You should be reading Quran. You forget." Then she said, "You forgot the Quran, haven't you?" I said, "No, you do your work. Change your nappy. Don't talk to me." And she said, "No, you tell me. You forgot it, haven't you? Read Yasin to me. I want to listen to your Yasin." I said, "No, you do your work. Why are you pestering me?" And she said, "No, I'm telling you, there's big guna for forgetting Quran. If you die like this, Allah will hold you to account for forgetting and neglecting the Quran Sharif." Now, wife was very nice. She used to do a lot of khidmat. He would tell me that, "Maulana Sahab, my wife is really good. Jannat ki hur. When I come from work, I just slump on the sofa. She brings me a nice tub of hot water, soaks my feet in there, and she brings me hot cup of tea and biscuit and everything. She says lots of khidmat for me, my parents. She's Jannat ki wife, Jannat ki hur hai." And she told him that you have to learn your Quran, otherwise you want to get punished. So he said, "Okay, I'll think about it." So when Ramzan came, he took time off work. He came to Darul. I was in Etikaf. And he told me the whole story. I said, "I want to learn my Quran. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to read to you bit by bit." "अगर मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है सुनने का यार." "No, Umar Sahib, you have to listen to me." I said, "Okay, I'll see." So in the upstairs masjid, he used to read Quran all day. And then he started learning few pages a day and he increased it. And within, alhamdulillah, 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, he did 15 sibaras. And he said, "Now I've got the hang of it and I'll do it now, inshallah." And he went over the whole Quran and memorized this whole Quran. So Quran is something that you can't forget. Even if you do, you can go over it again. You can be a reborn Hafiz as well. So make sure you get that relationship connection with Allah through Quran Sharif as well. Zahir bhai, what's up? आप खड़े हैं, मैं समझा पिज्जा आ गया, मेरा गला भी सूख रहा है यार, कुछ तो रहम करो, हमारे ऊपर पानी पिलाओ यार। भाई 2 मिनट में नहीं आए तो मैं तो इनको छुट्टी कर दूंगा। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। आज तो सैटरडे तो है नहीं, कौन सा डे है आज? मंडे है ना, तो कल तो वर्किंग डे है, ट्यूसडे। तो आज क्यों ये टेकअवे वाले इतने बिजी हैं? या बंद करके भाग गए? ऐसा लगता है आज पिज्जा नहीं आएगा, बंद करके भाग गए सब लोग। चलो खैर, इंशाल्लाह आ जाएगा, दुआ करो अल्लाह करे आ जाए। वैसे यूब भाई ने कहा तो था अयुब भाई नहीं है मेरे ख्याल में 5 minutes. Okay भाई 5 minutes है. What do you want to do for the next 5 minutes? Okay, आगे से आ जाओ. वो लोग पीछे बिछाना शुरू कर दे. आगे से आ जाओ. आगे से आ जाओ. हाँ 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 आई देखो ही हाँ When I pray, inshallah. All right. हाँ inshallah. हाँ जी चलो बैठे हैं. तो any questions? 5 minutes. Any questions? कल किसी ने क्या question पूछा था? What question did you ask me the other day?
In the Quran there's many fazilats about alim. There's nothing speaking as an alim.
Abdullah Sharif asked a nice question that the Quran, Hadith mention lots of fazail of alim. But can you explain the definition of an alim? Who is an alim? Nice question. Because we get fazilat like innama yakhshallaha min ibadihil ulama. It is the ulama who have the khashiyat and fear of Allah. قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Are those who know and those who don't know equal? Allah said no, they're not equal. The world of difference between them. يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Ahli ilm's darajat will be very high. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Al-ulama warasatul anbiya. Ulama are the waris and heirs, inheritors of the prophets. Right? And he said, Inna Allah wa malaikatuhu ليصلوا وأهل السماوات والأرض حتى النملة في جحرها ليصلون على معلم الناس الخير. One who educates people, Allah and His farishtas shower rahmat upon him, and Ahlus Samawati wal Ard make dua for him. To the extent that the ant in the hole also make dua for him. So there is lots of fazilat of alim. But what is the definition of alim? Right? This is the question of the last. So I told him that ilm is of two types. Ilmud dunya and ilmud deen. So when Allah talks about ya'lamun and ulul ilm, it's not about ilmud dunya. It's about ilmud deen. Ilmul akhirat. The ilm which connects you with Allah. The knowledge which takes you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ilmud deen. It came to my mind that Allama Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah alayhi has written that to do tafseer of Quran, you need to be expert in 14 sciences. How many? Ilmul sarf, ilmul nahu, ilmul adab, ilmul ma'ani, ilmul bayan, ilmul badi', ilmul tarikh, ilmul nasikh wal mansukh, ilmul fiqh, ilmu usul al-fiqh, ilmul tafsir, ilmu usul al-tafsir, ilmul hadith, ilmu usul al-hadith. And then on top of that, he said 15th ilm is ilmul ladunni, a special Wahhabi ilm from Allah. And that is given when you practice on what you know, that Allah teaches you what you do not know. This is in the hadith narrated by Ibn Abdul Barr in Jami'ul Bayan al-Ilmi wa Fadlihi. Man amila bima alima awrathahu Allahu ilma ma lam ya'lam. Whoever practices on the knowledge which he has, Allah will inspire him the knowledge of those things which he did not know. So, When you learn all these sciences, that's when you will be called an alim. Where do you go to learn all these 14 sciences? Bolo, Darul Uloom. Because basic knowledge every Muslim has, right? Faraz, wajib, sunnat, mustahab, halal, haram. But to go more deeper into it, you have to go back to basics. You have to learn the way the Sahaba learned from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tabi'een learned from Sahaba. Tabi'een from Tabi'een. And our Akabir Mashayikh learned from their teachers and Asatiza, right? How they sat down in front of them. They spent many, many years in their service. And this is in dunya as well. You can't become a professor or a doctor or an engineer until you stay in the suhbat of the professors and the engineers and the doctors and the surgeons. Then you will become expert in that field. So in the field of deen, you want to become an alim, you have to sit in the company of the ulama and study and learn. Then you will become an alim. Do you get me? Now you understand the definition of alim, right? These are the ulama kiram. And there are stages, just like you have GCSE degree, all right? And then you get your uske baad A level, and then you get your PhD and masters. So similarly, you get degree of Hafiz, then Qari, and then Alim, then Shaykhul Hadith, and then Mufti. So Mufti, you need to spend good few years in the sohbat of a Mufti to become a strong, profound, well-trained, tajrabakar, expert Mufti. You can't just do an online course and then start giving fatwas. Right? You have to stay in the company of Mufti and Kiram. Mufti Rashid Ahmad Ludhianvi Rahmatullah used to say you have to become Mufti and stay connected to Darul Ifta for 10 years. Then we'll give you title of Mufti. Otherwise, we won't give you title of Mufti. Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahab, you go to his Darul Uloom, even if you study in other Darul Ulooms, you have to study Dawra Hadith in his Darul Uloom first. And you get best results in the Dawra Hadith. Then you get admission into Ifta class. And you can't get Ifta in 1 year. You have to stay for 2 years to do the Ifta. So 3 years minimum for Ifta class in his Darul Uloom. And that is only for those who get the best results. Those who don't have the top results, they don't allow them into the Ifta class. So you have to go through all these sciences to become a profound, strong alim, scholar who can give judicial rulings and fatwas. Now you understand the answer? मेरे ख्याल में पिज्जा आ गया है, अयूब भाई आ गए हैं, पिज्जा आ गया अयूब भाई, माशाल्लाह. क्या है आज मेन्यू में, क्या है? करजोनी. कौन सी दावत से आते हैं? मौलाना इब्राहिम की दावत है. मौलाना इब्राहिम सूटी को करजोनी खाना था. चलो भैया, तो करजोनी आया ग्रिस्टन में से. चिकन विंग्स है कि नहीं यार? मुझे तो चिकन विंग अच्छी लगती है यार. चलो खैर, सुभान अल्लाह बिहम्दिही, सुभान अल्लाह बिहम्दिका, नशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अनता, नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैह. By it's half 12 already.